Hello, this is Dominic Steele from Christians in the Media and Village Church in Sydney, and this is Reading the Bible, and we're in the Old Testament in the book of Numbers, chapter 22. It is a curious story. It's the story of Balaam and his talking donkey. Balaam is a voice for hire, a hired prophet, if you like. And on the way to work, Balaam has several encounters with God, which have the effect of teaching him that God is powerful. I'm picking up the story in Numbers chapter 22 and sentence 21. Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. But God was very angry when he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Now, so far, Balaam, he's an impressive fellow in this narrative. He's an opinion maker whose word can have tremendous effects on the fall and the rise of nations. But here, the great and powerful Balaam is now publicly humiliated in the most astonishing way. His donkey stops in his tracks, and there's a series of interactions, but it culminates in sentence 27. She, the donkey, lay down under Balaam. He's very angry and beat her with his staff, and then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Now, this is surprising. We're moving way out into the weird categories, and I don't think we can know if the donkey really spoke or if Balaam just kind of heard the voice in his head. But anyway, he heard a voice. And this is all happening publicly in front of a group of people. And either way, it's pretty weird to the princes of Moab and Balaam's assistants who are watching, because as far as everybody watching is concerned, either Balaam is standing there with his sword drawn, talking to a defenceless donkey who's lying on the ground, and he is talking to the donkey, and the donkey is talking back to him, or Balaam is standing there with his sword drawn, talking to a defenceless donkey who's lying on the ground, and he's imagining that that the donkey is talking back to him. Either way, Balaam is exactly right in sentence 29 when he sums up the situation and he addresses the donkey and he says, "You have made a fool out of me." Mind you, a man who talks to a donkey doesn't need much help in being made a fool of. The donkey comes back to Balaam and says, "Am I not your own donkey, which you've always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you?" Now, there is no doubt who wins in this cross-examination. Balaam's answer is monosyllabic, almost pathetic, as he whimpers back to the donkey, "No." The powerful Balaam, the greatest seer, the greatest prophet, the opinion maker, the gatekeeper, is outgunned in public cross-examination by a donkey. If the others can hear what Balaam can hear, then Balaam should feel very humiliated. Anyway, Balaam then sees the angel who stood in the donkey's path, sentence 34. Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned. I didn't realise you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now, if you are displeased, I will go back." The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you." Now, the whole effect of these 3 encounters is to teach Balaam that the God of the universe, the God of Israel, is powerful. More powerful than the most powerful seer, the most powerful opinion maker. God is not to be mocked. The angel tells Balaam in different ways the predictions, the prophecies that he's to make, to repeat the promises of God, the promises that God gave to Abraham. So God makes predictions, prophecies from the true God, prophesying to descendants, relationship, land. And then Balaam gives this prophecy, chapter 24:15. He says, big drum roll, the oracle of Balaam, son of Beor, the oracle of one whose eyes see clearly, the oracle of one who hears the words of God, who has knowledge from the Most High, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who falls prostrate and whose eyes are open. Here comes the oracle, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. It's an oracle about a person who's coming, not a present person, but a future person. A star will come out of Jacob. This person who is going to come is going to be a descendant of Jacob, of Israel. A scepter will rise out of Israel. Scepter is the thing the king holds. Balaam is predicting that Israel in the future will have a king. The first 3 statements of Balaam, land, descendants, blessed, they're in the process of coming true. The people have been established. The great nation has arisen. The covenant relationship's been established. The land is being given. They can look. They can see Jericho. But this fourth promise, the promise of a king. Now, it's interesting that about 1,000 years later, after King David, right at the start of the New Testament, Matthew chapter 2 records that pagan seers, that spiritualists, that diviners will travel by the city to the city of David, whose star they've been observing in the heavens. They follow the star and they find King David's greatest son, God's king, the baby Jesus, the king promised in Genesis, promised in Numbers. Through you, blessing will come to the nations. God promised through Balaam. The king of Israel will come, who will subdue the world.